Pixel 4a 5G and Pixel 5 with 4,000 milliamp hour battery leak in a live image with alleged specs. Some people are upset. They're saying, how can the Pixel 5, I think Marquez tweeted about it, how can the Pixel 5 not have weaker performance than the Pixel 4?
Their branding is
it's all confusing.
So off the wall.
So I don't mind the idea of going straight budget and leaving the flagship stuff to the players that are already there, particularly in 2020, where there's so much demand for budget stuff and value stuff, and the value stuff is performing well. So I don't mind it, but yeah, the naming is the problem, because then it's, well, wait, the Pixel, like, how do you and when do you make that transition? And then the fact that they've got this other 4A 5G that's going to be available. We've covered this. So anyways, here are the specs for these presumably budget devices or more budget devices. The Pixel 5, 4,000 milliamp hour battery, 0.5x wide lens, 1x standard lens, same as the Pixel 4, 12.2 megapixels. Snapdragon 765G is going to be the chip of choice for the smaller of the two units, which is supposedly the Pixel 5. 8 gigs of RAM, which is a little bit more than some people had suspected. Display will be capable of 60 hertz or 90 hertz. It will be a plastic back, no audio jack, and have the fingerprint scanner on the back as well. Though you can see there's some unusual texture in this image on top of the plastic back on the smaller unit. If you shift over, this is where things get really weird, to the Pixel 4a 5G, which is the bigger unit of the two. Typically, when you go to the bigger phone, you get a bigger battery. But here, you get a smaller battery, 3,800 milliamp hours, compared to the Pixel 5, the shrunken model, which has a 4,000. It's so weird. The camera looks to be the same. The chip will be the same, 765G. It'll have 6 gig of RAM instead of 8, and a 60 hertz screen only. Everything else basically looks the same. And presumably the price may start at the same, which would make things even equally confusing. $499. We have to wait and see. I guess you might be able to sell the Pixel 5 for a little bit more. There's rumors about the price starting at the same for both. But looking at this, if they do start at the same price, I don't care. I would have to pick the 90 hertz screen and the extra RAM myself, and the bigger battery. I don't know who's going to pick the 5G 4A. It really only has a bigger display, and then it suffers elsewhere.
Right.
So it's, confusing branding, but you can catch a look at them. They're the most basic looking things of all time. They're the most slabby of the slabs.
What do you think is going to cost more?
Oh, I think they might both start at $499. Is that insane?
No, not at all. It's so confusing.
I don't know. Or could it be $499 and $549? Yeah, it's Google frequently does a great job of confusing people with this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. How could we fix this?
Or this could all be a rumor and completely fake.
Right. And then they'll sort everything out?
Yeah.
Well, let's presume that it's not. How could we have fixed the situation? What would we have done? We would have done...
Forget about the 4A. Just have the
Pixel 5 and Pixel 5 XL?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like they've done in the past.
Right. They were trying to get the cost down, though. Because I presume if they had done the 5 XL with a 90 hertz display at that size and 8 gigs of RAM, which you would have needed to do in order for it to be comparable to the regular 5, but have the XL moniker, then maybe that price gets to a place that they don't like in 2020.
Just forget about the A line.
I like how you're forgetting about so many things.
Yeah,
you're just telling them to just forget about it.
You know?
And do what? Light?
Just start over. Just stick with the Pixel 5, 5 XL, and then just have that as a budget option.
Interesting. But then that kind of limits their ability in the future to have the two simultaneous lines if they ever wanted to do that again.
Then have the Pro.
So go with the
Pro model.
You prefer the Pro.
Yeah.
XL is weird. I was never a huge fan of XL. I actually prefer Plus to XL.
Right, yeah.
But anyways, whatever. We can't fix it. That's the word on the street at the moment. You guys tell me in the comments, if they do start at the same price, would you pick the bigger display with the weaker specs, or would you pick the Pixel 5 with the better specs and the smaller display?